Mastering GRC essentials. Elevate governance, mitigate risks, and ensure compliance for sustainable success. Risk management. In the realm of governance, risk and compliance, effective risk management and evaluation are crucial pillars for ensuring organisational resilience and success. In this module, we explore the essential components of risk management, the key steps in risk evaluation, strategies for risk mitigation, and the importance of continuous improvement in risk response planning within the GRC framework. Risk management is not a one-time activity, but an ongoing process that requires systematic identification, assessment, and mitigation of risks to achieve organisation objectives and protect shareholders' interests. It involves a proactive approach to anticipate potential threats and opportunities, minimise vulnerabilities, and capitalise on strategic advantages. Risk management is the systematic process of identifying, assessing, prioritising and mitigating risks to achieve organisational objectives. It is a continuous and proactive approach to navigate uncertainties and enhance organisational resilience. A risk register is a central repository that systematically documents all potential risks faced by an organisation, along with pertinent details such as their likelihood, impact, mitigation strategies, and responsible parties. To brainstorm potential risks, facilitate collaborative sessions with key stakeholders to brainstorm potential risks within each category, encourage open dialogue, and consider diverse perspectives to ensure comprehensive risk identification. To assess risk likelihood and impact, evaluate the likelihood and potential impact of each identified risk on the organisation's objectives. Utilise a consistent rating scale, such as low, medium or high, to assess likelihood and impact levels. To prioritise risks based on their combined likelihood and impact scores, focusing on those with the highest potential to affect the organisation adversely. This prioritisation informs resource allocation and risk mitigation efforts. For each prioritised risk, develop specific mitigation strategies aimed at reducing the likelihood or impact of occurrence. Assign responsibility for implementing these strategies to relevant individuals or departments. Define key risk indicators, KRIs, and establish monitoring mechanisms to track the effectiveness of mitigation measures and identify emerging risks promptly. Regularly review and update the risk register to reflect changes in risk profiles and mitigation activities. Integrate the risk register into broader GRC processes, ensuring alignment with governance structures, compliance requirements, and strategic objectives. Foster cross-functional collaboration to facilitate seamless risk management across the organisation. Communicate the contents of the risk register to relevant stakeholders, including senior management, board members, and frontline staff. Provide training and educational resources to enhance risk awareness and empower individuals to contribute effectively to risk management efforts. Risk evaluation is a critical aspect of risk management that involves assessing the significance and potential impact of identified risks. Key steps in risk evaluation include identifying and documenting specific risks that may impact organisational objectives, operations, or stakeholders. Analysing the likelihood and potential impact of identified risks using qualitative and quantitative methods. Assign risk ratings based on the likelihood and potential impact of risks to prioritise mitigation efforts effectively. Assess the sensitivity of identified risks to changes in key variables. Classify risks based on their severity and potential impact. Provide decision makers with insights to make informed choices. and guide the allocation of resources to address and mitigate high priority risks. Various methods can be used to evaluate risks, including quantitative and qualitative analysis. Employ both quantitative and qualitative methods to evaluate risks comprehensively. Quantitative analysis, using numerical data and statistical techniques to assess risks based on probability distributions and financial impact. Qualitative analysis, assessing risks based on subjective judgments and qualitative criteria such as likelihood, impact, and urgency. Assessment criteria. Define criteria for evaluating risks, considering impact, likelihood, and strategic importance. Collect relevant data and information to assess the potential impact and likelihood of risks. Use scenario analysis to explore potential scenarios to understand the various ways risk may manifest. Risk matrix. Plot risks on a matrix based on impact and likelihood for visual assessment. Utilize statistical methods to model various risk scenarios and their potential outcomes. Risk evaluation provides valuable insights into the significance and potential impact of identified risks. These insights inform decision-making processes, prioritize mitigation efforts, and allocate resources effectively to address the most critical risks. Effective risk evaluation offers numerous benefits to organizations, including informed decision-making, which provides decision-makers with timely and relevant information to make informed decisions and allocate resources effectively. Risk prioritization prioritizes mitigation efforts based on the significance and potential impact of identified risks. Resource optimization allocates resources efficiently to address the most critical risks and minimize vulnerabilities. Stakeholder confidence. Build trust and confidence with stakeholders by demonstrating a proactive approach to risk management and evaluation. And facilitate a culture of continuous improvement in risk management processes. Risk mitigation involves developing and implementing strategies to reduce, transfer, or accept risks and to minimize their potential impact on organizational objectives and operations. Risk mitigation is the process of developing and implementing strategies to reduce the impact and likelihood of identified risks. And the goal is to minimize the adverse effects of risks and to enhance organizational resilience. Strategies for risk reduction may include avoidance, eliminating activities or processes that pose significant risks to organizational objectives. Mitigation, implementing controls, safeguards and countermeasures to reduce the likelihood and potential impact of identified risks. Transfer, transferring risks to third parties through insurance, contracts or other risk-sharing mechanisms. Acceptance, acknowledging and accepting risks that cannot be eliminated or effectively mitigated, and developing contingency plans to manage their potential impact. Diversification, spreading investments, resources or operations to reduce the impact of a risk in a specific market sector or geographic region. Effective risk reduction strategies offer several benefits, including enhanced resilience, strengthening organizational resilience and ability to withstand and recover from adverse events. Cost savings, minimizing financial losses, liabilities and expenses associated with risk-related incidents. Regulatory compliance, ensuring compliance with laws, regulations and industry standards through proactive risk management and mitigation efforts. And stakeholder trust, building trust and confidence with stakeholders by demonstrating a commitment to managing risks effectively and protecting their interests. Despite the benefits of risk reduction strategies, organisations may encounter various challenges, including resource constraints. Limited budget, expertise and technology infrastructure may hinder the implementation of effective risk reduction measures. Complexity. Managing risks in complex and interconnected environments requires a holistic and integrated approach that may be challenging to implement. And uncertainty. Predicting and mitigating emerging risks and black swan events with unknown probabilities and potential impacts poses significant challenges to risk reduction efforts. So in summary, risk mitigation strategies are essential for building a resilient and adaptive organisation. A combination of proactive planning and continuous improvement is key to effective risk reduction. Risk response planning. Risk response planning involves developing and implementing strategies to respond to identified risks effectively. Risk response planning is the process of developing and implementing strategies to address identified risks and their potential impacts. Its goal is to ensure the organisation is prepared to respond effectively to potential risks and minimise their negative consequence. Key components of risk response planning include risk response strategies. Develop specific strategies for each identified risk based on its nature and potential impact. Contingency planning. Developing contingency plans to manage the potential impact of risks that cannot be effectively mitigated or transferred. Developing a risk response plan involves identifying and documenting specific risks that may impact organisational objectives, operations or stakeholders. Evaluating the likelihood and potential impact of identified risks to prioritise response efforts effectively. Developing proactive strategies to mitigate, transfer or accept identified risks based on their likelihood and potential impact. Implementing response actions and monitoring their effectiveness in reducing the likelihood and potential impact of identified risks. And assigning ownership and accountability. Clearly assign responsibility for the execution of each response strategy. Establish a plan for communication with stakeholders regarding the identified risks and the response strategies in place. Develop specific strategies for each identified risk based on its characteristics. Allocate the necessary resources, including finances and personnel, to implement the chosen strategies. Establish a timeline for the implementation of risk response strategies with clear milestones. And regularly monitor the effectiveness of implemented strategies and be prepared to adjust as needed. Effective risk response planning offers several benefits, including proactive risk management, anticipating and addressing potential risks before they occur to minimise their impact on organisational objectives and operations, allocating resources efficiently to implement response actions and mitigate the most critical risks, enhanced stakeholder confidence, building trust and confidence with stakeholders by demonstrating a proactive approach to risk management and response planning. Enhanced resilience, strengthening organisational resilience and ability to withstand and recover from adverse effects through proactive risk response actions. Despite the benefits of risk response planning, organisations may encounter various challenges, including complexity. Developing and implementing response actions in complex and interconnected environments may be challenging and require a coordinated and integrated approach. Limited budget, expertise and technology infrastructure may hinder the implementation of effective response actions. Predicting and responding to emerging risks and black swan events with unknown probabilities and potential impacts poses significant challenges to response planning efforts. and risks may be interconnected, making it challenging to develop isolated response plans. Continuous improvement is essential in risk management to adapt to changing circumstances, emerging risks, and evolving organisational objectives. By regularly reviewing and refining response processes and practices, organisations can enhance their resilience and effectiveness in managing risks and protecting their interests. So, periodically review and update risk assessments to reflect changes in the business environment. Conduct post-event analysis to learn from experiences and improve future response planning. And adjust strategies in response to changes in the business environment. Provide ongoing training to stakeholders to enhance risk awareness and capabilities. And establish a feedback loop to learn from experiences and continuously improve risk management. Right, here's a case study for you featuring XYZ Pharmaceuticals, who took a positive approach to risk management. XYZ Pharmaceuticals is a leading global pharmaceutical company specializing in the development and distribution of innovative medicines. With operations spanning across multiple countries, the company is committed to ensuring the safety and efficacy of its products while maintaining regulatory compliance and fostering a culture of responsible risk management. Operating in a highly regulated industry presents challenges in navigating complex and evolving regulatory landscapes. It faces the challenge of keeping abreast of changing regulations across different markets and ensuring compliance while maintaining operational efficiency. Global supply chain disruptions, such as natural disasters or geopolitical events, pose risks to product availability and quality, requiring the company to identify and mitigate vulnerabilities within the supply chain to minimize disruptions and maintain uninterrupted product supply. Rapid advancements in technology and evolving market dynamics introduce new and unforeseen risks to the pharmaceutical industry, including cybersecurity breaches or counterfeit products, to protect patient safety and brand integrity. XYZ Pharmaceuticals continuously evaluates, mitigates and responds to risks to ensure the safety, efficacy and compliance of its products. So, how do they go about it? First thing, risk evaluation. XYZ Pharmaceuticals conducts comprehensive risk evaluations to identify and assess potential risks across its operations. This process involves risk identification. The company utilizes various tools and methodologies to identify both internal and external risks, including market volatility, regulatory changes, supply chain disruptions, and product quality issues. And risk assessment. Once identified, each risk is assessed based on its probability of occurrence, potential impact, and velocity. XYZ Pharmaceuticals employs quantitative and qualitative risk assessment techniques to prioritize risks according to their significance. Risk mitigation. After evaluating risks, XYZ Pharmaceuticals implements proactive measures to mitigate their impact. This includes risk prevention strategies. The company invests in advanced technologies and quality control systems to prevent potential risks such as manufacturing defects, contamination, and counterfeit products. Diversification. XYZ Pharmaceuticals diversifies its product portfolio and geographic presence to reduce dependency on specific markets or products, thereby mitigating risks associated with market fluctuations and regulatory changes. Risk response planning. XYZ Pharmaceuticals develops comprehensive risk response plans tailored to address specific risks identified during the evaluation process. These plans include contingency plans. The company establishes contingency plans for critical risks, outlining step-by-step procedures to be followed in the event of an adverse event, such as a product recall or regulatory non-compliance. Communication strategies. XYZ Pharmaceuticals emphasizes transparent communication, both internally and externally during times of crisis. Clear communication channels are established to disseminate information to employees, stakeholders, and regulatory authorities promptly. Continuous improvement. XYZ Pharmaceuticals recognizes that risk management is an ongoing process and is committed to continuous improvement. This involves regular review and monitoring. The company conducts regular reviews of its risk management processes to identify areas for improvement and ensure alignment with industry best practices and regulatory requirements. Employee training and awareness. XYZ Pharmaceutical provides comprehensive training programs to educate employees at all levels about risk management principles and practices. This fosters a culture of risk awareness and encourages proactive risk mitigation efforts. So, what does this achieve? Enhanced risk preparedness. By adopting proactive risk management initiatives, XYZ Pharmaceuticals has bolstered its readiness to anticipate and respond to potential threats effectively. Improved compliance and quality standards. Through stringent risk evaluation and mitigation efforts, XYZ Pharmaceuticals maintains compliance with regulatory requirements and upholds the highest quality standards across its product portfolio. Adopting effective risk mitigation strategies has maintained market leadership, expanded its market presence, and sustained shareholder value through effective risk mitigation strategies. So, in conclusion, XYZ Pharmaceuticals' positive approach to risk management underscores its commitment to ensuring the safety, quality, and integrity of its products and operations. By implementing robust risk evaluation, mitigation, response planning, and continuous improvement strategies, the company is well positioned to navigate challenges effectively while maintaining its reputation as a trusted provider of pharmaceutical solutions globally. In conclusion, effective risk management, evaluation and response planning are critical components of governance, risk and compliance that organisations must prioritise to achieve their objectives and protect their interests. By understanding the key steps in risk management and evaluation, implementing proactive risk mitigation strategies, and continuously improving risk response planning efforts, organisations can enhance their resilience, agility, and success in navigating uncertainties and seizing opportunities in a rapidly evolving business environment. So, in summary, risk response planning is a crucial element of comprehensive risk management. Effective planning ensures a proactive and adaptive approach to potential risks, contributing to organisational resilience.